From the station working for you, this is breaking news from WRTV.
Fast news in reference to 8951 Maribel Road. Be advised, another caller heard 10 shots from near the front of the entrance. Caller says possibly from inside. No further seen or heard. Less than 1 minute ago.
We continue to follow a horrific scene on the city's southwest side. 8 people killed by an active shooting at a FedEx ground facility near the airport. Thank you for joining us. I'm Megan Shin on this tough and tragic morning. We'll check in for your weather and traffic update with Todd Clausen in just a few minutes. But first, we need to check in with our Rafael Sanchez to get us up to speed on this still developing mass shooting in the city's southwest side. Raf.
Megan, people running for cover, people running for their lives. Chaos and fear overtook this scene, and when the gunfire was over, 8 people were found dead. I can tell you right now that police remain on the scene investigating this situation here at the FedEx ground building here on the city's southwest side. Let me show you exactly where we are reporting this morning. This situation continues to unfold as we continue to follow this breaking news story right here on WRTV. We are on the 8,000 block of Maribel Road. We're just about 3 miles away from Indianapolis International Airport. From here to the airport is just an 8-minute drive. But from this location where this is now unfolding, of course, people began calling 911 for help. Shortly after 11 p.m., police receiving calls from not only inside the building but outside, also receiving calls from the interstate system, people reporting that there was a situation unfolding inside of this building. We can also tell you from what sources are telling me that people inside the building were just hiding. They were in any place that they could, underneath the conveyor belts, in any corner of the building that they could, as they heard those gunshots erupt inside of that building. In the end, police are telling WRTV investigates that the suspect died by suicide. They are describing what they say a weapon was found by the man's body. That weapon is being described to WRTV investigates as a long gun. We'll continue to follow those developments throughout the morning as this story continues to unfold. Our focus is not only on the investigation. That's just part of the story. Our bigger focus is on the people, the families. And with that part of our coverage, now let's turn to WRTV's Troy Washington. Troy, what can you tell us?
Well, for those that are just joining us, we're here at the Holiday Inn Express on Stansted, and if you do have a loved one who works at that FedEx facility and you haven't heard from them, they want you to come here. They're actually answering a lot of the questions here, and maybe they can kind of guide you in the right direction. Now, for hours, a lot of the family members were here. They were waiting for answers just to find out what was going on with their loved ones, or even to learn if they were okay. So a lot of them showed up here at that Holiday Inn Express. It's near the airport on Stansted. If you're still looking for your loved one, they want you to come here, and maybe they can help lead you in the right direction or give you some answers. Now, as soon as I showed up around 1 a.m., I talked with the grandmother. She was in her car, and she was clearly worried as she started to tell me that she, on the way here, prayed the entire drive. Here's what she had to say.
I was listening to on the radio on her phone. I was putting on my clothes as soon as I heard it, and she was coming down the stairs. We got to go, we got to go, we got to go, we got to go. I didn't ask her why. I just got in, got my stuff and got in, and she told me. I said, oh, my God. So we're here to see. I hope, God, that he's not injured, and I hope a whole lot of other people are not injured either, but we don't know.
Now, a lot of these relatives, they have been waiting here for hours, and a lot of that started around midnight. A lot of people coming in here to the hotel, pacing, praying, worrying, wondering, just wanting some answers to their questions. And as we continue to learn more about these victims, I'm sure that we'll continue to learn more about some of the people who have not even been accounted for. Like I said, there's an investigation going on, and some of those employees were still being questioned. But here at the hotel, they've been fielding a lot of calls from people who are calling here and inquiring about where they should go and how they should get any answers to their questions. So again, I just want people to know, if you are searching for your loved one, they want you to come here to Stansted near the airport, the Holiday Inn Express. Back to you, Rafael.
What heartbreak, what worry for so many families. And of course, Troy, we will keep on top of this developing situation with the families. Troy, thank you so much for that. You know, the big question this morning is, who is the guy behind this mass shooting? And I have to tell you, working our sources, we don't have a name just yet. But you can imagine that in the next several hours or so, police will release that information. This remains an active investigation. And Kelsey, we've been watching social media. We've been watching our Twitter feeds and Facebook. That's the biggest question. Who is responsible? We just don't know a name just yet.
That's right, Rafael. We've put out several tweets this morning giving people updates. And the number one response we're getting is, who is it? And again, that's just something we don't know right now. The only thing we do know is that the gunman is a male. That's all we know. So we're expecting to hear more later from IMPD. We've had 2 press conferences so far. The first one at 1 a.m. and that was just 2 hours after the first 911 call. That's when Officer Janae Cook told us very little information. She just said that there was an active scene and that the alleged gunman had killed himself. So that's all we knew at 1 o'clock. Then at 3 o'clock, we heard more from Janae Cook, and she tells us that there were 8 victims here pronounced dead at the scene with gunshot wounds. Several people transported to the hospital, others treated here at the scene by emergency services. And then they're also getting reports of walk-ins at different hospitals in 3 different counties, because we're in a very unique spot where we're very close to several different counties. So they're trying to, account for everybody, get their statements and see, what they saw, what they heard, and what they know. But she says right now it's time for the community to support everyone involved.
You gotta look for a way to support each other, whether it's your neighbor, the guy down the street, your family member. That's where you have to start at, and you just keep supporting each other, and it'll always get better.
So again, if you work here at this FedEx facility and are expecting to go to work tomorrow, Officer Cook suggests you call your supervisor first. She says the building will be closed for quite some time as the investigation continues. She also told us during that press conference to be thinking about these officers that went in that building as well. Those people inside and the officers saw things that she says no one should ever have to see. So again, keeping all of them in our thoughts this morning and again, supporting them. We also, again, we don't know who that suspect is. We don't know that information, but we are expecting a press conference later this morning. We don't know a time yet, but we will bring that update to you right here on WRTV and of course on our social medias and online. But for now, we'll bring it back to Rafael out here outside the FedEx facility.
Kelsey, we are committed to bringing people the best information, the facts. This is a lot of information coming at us, overwhelming this morning, but we will not get ahead of the story. As we get the facts, we will share them with you. And of course, our thoughts this morning, Megan, are with the families. What do you say to those 8 families? What can be said? Their family members, they came to work last night. They were expecting to see them at some point this morning. And of course, they will not be coming home. And it's with the families that we stand this morning. And as soon as we get more information, of course, we will pass that along. Again, 8 people dead here on the city's southwest side. This could turn out to be the biggest mass shooting in Indianapolis history. The last one was back in 2006. And Megan, I covered that one as well. That was the Hamilton Avenue murders. That involved 7 people, including 3 children. And I can still remember that day as it was yesterday. On that day, it was raining. And I can always remember the body bags that came out. And I only point that out because this is traumatic. And the trauma is real for those people that work in this building, that come to work every day, put in their heart and soul with their employer, and then they want to get back home. And so what we will see over the next couple of days will be the need for mental health help for these workers who will see images, as the Metro Police described. The scene inside that building is something that no one should see. So those are the kinds of things we'll be talking about, and we'll provide resources throughout the day here at WRTV and WRTV.com, resources that you may want to share with your friends and family, that they may want to consider as they try to sort of process this moment, because this moment, as we are focused not only on those 8 families, and their mourning and just their loss, but we're also focused on the many people. I'm told that at one point there may have been 100 people that had to be evacuated from that building. One can't even begin to imagine what they saw and what they processed. We'll continue to follow this developing story throughout the day right here on WRTV. Rafael Sanchez, now back to you in Studio A.
And Rafael, just a quick question for you. It shakes your sense of safety to the core. So how is the feeling out there? You're one of the first few people out there on the scene.
Well, I think, all of us go to work every morning. We go to work. We hope to clock in at some point. We hope to clock out. And if there's a little bit of overtime, we'll take a little overtime. But we want to be back with our families. We want to have lunch or dinner, whatever that may be for you, right? Whatever your truth may be. And I think that is shaken today when you think about the fact that this building here, with a lot of surveillance cameras, security, how could this happen, right? And so that'll be the big question that investigators will be looking at over the next couple of hours. Now back to you.
Thank you so much, Ralph, and stay safe out there.